Hi everyone, welcome to Gallant IAS Economia. Here we discuss important economic current affairs and concepts. Today's topic is periodic labor force survey. Recently, the National Statistical Office released the quarterly periodic labor force survey. National Statistics Office, which comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, prepares two reports on labor, on the current status of labor employment in our country. NSO prepares two reports, that is quarterly periodic labor force survey and annual report on labor force participation. In this quarterly periodic labor force survey, this survey contains only employment figures of urban areas. That means no data on rural areas. What is the unemployment rate in urban areas, employment rates, and labor force participation rate, working participation rate. So, quarterly labor force participation survey calculate the unemployment and employment rates of urban areas only. And it is prepared quarterly basis, which means April to June or July to September, October to December, or January to April. So, it is prepared quarterly basis. Then annual report on labor force participation survey, this prepared annually, and it contains both employment figures of urban and rural areas. Urban and rural areas. So, recently, NSO published quarterly periodic labor force survey. According to this survey, unemployment rate eased in the urban areas to 7.9% in October-December 2090 compared to 9.9% in October-December 2080. So, these figures are very important for your mains answer writing. Figures will fetch you more marks. So, please note these figures. Unemployment rate eased in urban areas comparing 2090 and 2080. In 2019, unemployment rate is 7.9%. That was higher. In 2080, that was 9.9%. So, it is reduced. Then, labor force participation rate increased. More persons are working now. 37.2% in 2019 comparing with 36.3% in 2018. These 2 points are positives. So, what are the difference between unemployment rate and labor force participation rate? Labor force participation is a percentage of persons in the labor force available for work in the population. Percentage of persons in the labor force available for work in the population. Which means, in an area, if there is 1,000 people residing, out of this 1,000 population, how many are available for work? Whether they have jobs or not is another issue. If they are available or ready to work, if there is 400 persons are available and ready for work, then labor force participation rate will be 400 divided by 1,000 into 100, that is 40%. So, labor force participation rate will be 40%. It doesn't mean it not showing how many jobs are available, it's showing how many persons are available to work or if they are ready to work. That is what labor force participation rate. Then unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Before that, let's understand what is worker population rate. Worker population rate means out of this 1,000 population, how many has jobs? How many persons have jobs? If there is 300 persons are working, then worker population will be 300 divided by 1,000 into 100, that is 30%. Even though there is 400 persons are available for work, 400 persons doesn't have jobs, only 300 have jobs, then worker population will be 30%. Then what is the unemployment rate? Out of the total working population, out of the total, sorry, not working population, total labor force available, how many doesn't have jobs? How many doesn't have jobs or unemployed? They are ready to work but doesn't have jobs. 300 are working, 400 is the labor force. So the unemployed is 100. Then unemployment rate will be 100 divided by 400 into 100. This unemployment rate is not calculated on total population, but it is calculated on labor force number. Out of total labor force available, how many doesn't have jobs? How many persons are unemployed? That is what? Unemployment rate. So it will be 25%. So that is the difference between labor force participation, employment rate and worker population. So periodic labor force survey, it's India's first computer-based survey launched by National Statistics Office, thus comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Central Statistics Office, that is CSO, National Sample Service Organization, all both these two organizations comes under National Statistics Office. It has been constituted based on the recommendation of committee headed by Amitabh Kundu. Periodic labor force survey first started in 2070 based on the recommendations of Amitabh Kundu committee. And objectives. So objectives, periodic labor force survey prepares NSO on periodic labor force survey prepares two surveys, two reports. One quarterly periodic labor force survey and second annual report on labor force participation. First, to estimate the key employment and unemployment indicators in the short time interval of 3 months for urban areas. That is quarterly periodic labor force survey. Then to estimate employment and unemployment indicators in both rural and urban areas annually. That is annual report on labor force participation. So that's all. Thank you.